to The game invades Black Mist them. Chu-Chin just saved our lives, and you're gossiping about our safety. Savior? Seeing them ashamed and closing their mouths, Sheenie turned to look at the entrance of the secret realm, her expression filled with worry. Everyone had left, leaving only Chu-Chin in the dense forest. He quickly sat down, opened the system panel, and checked his backpack. When he traded earlier, he found something incredible in his backpack. But with many people around, he didn't want to show his excitement. Now alone, Chu-Chin couldn't contain himself, his mouth almost reaching his ears with a grin. Ha ha, a skill book, never enough in a lifetime. Yes, he had obtained another mage skill book. Taking it out of his backpack, the enchanting staff emblem made Chu-Chin couldn't help but lick his lips. Mist Technique, LV. 20, second tier skill, class restriction, mage, reaching out, he touched it. Do you want to learn Mist Technique? Yes. Ding. Congratulations on learning the skill, Mist Technique. Passive skill Magic Spirit Surge triggered. Skill Mist Technique replaced with Azure Sea Tide Rising. A water-based forbidden curse. Excited, Chu-Chin looked at his attribute panel. Chu-Chin, class, Starlight Mage, second transformation, level, LV. 31, Constitution, 271, Strength, 210, Intelligence, 406, Agility, 390, Spirit, 462, Combat Power, Skills, Magic Spirit Surge, Infernal Catastrophe, Annihilation Thunder, Source of All Laws, Azure Sea Tide Rising, Available Attribute Points, 55. Due to it being only a 20-level secret realm and with many people, a lot of experience was divided. After clearing the first level of the secret realm, Chu-Chin only leveled up by 1. He didn't care much about that, as leveling up was the easiest thing for him. The important thing was the skills. Skill, Azure Sea Tide Rising, active, water-based forbidden curse. Summon the power of the deep sea to deal multiple damages to enemies, apply a restraint effect, and heal team members, removing all negative effects. Incredible! Another amazing skill. A forbidden curse never disappoints, always delivering. This effect not only inflicts damage and control but also provides group healing and removes all debuffs. Truly, priests would be silent, and warlocks would shed tears upon seeing this. Chu-Chin let out a satisfied laugh. He looked at the skill panel. Infernal Catastrophe cooldown, 46 minutes. Annihilation Thunder cooldown, 61 minutes. Perfect, I'll rest during this time. Chu-Chin lay down on the grass. Now, he had 3 active skills. When clearing the secret realm, having at least 2 was a safety measure. One is used to clear the way for small monsters, and one is used to quickly defeat the boss. Still too few skills. Chu-Chin pondered, he must speed up the progress and learn more skills. Or, suddenly he remembered something. It's time to let his source of all laws come into play. Next time he goes to the exchange to sell goods, he must ask Wei Suanan if there is any good equipment to reduce cooldown. He can stack up to 100% cooldown reduction. As long as there is suitable equipment, he must get a set even if it costs a fortune. Thinking like this, Chu-Chin squinted for a while. Although the sky was bright in the secret realm, it was already early morning outside. Chu Chen felt a bit sleepy and fell asleep. 40 minutes later, he opened his eyes, full of energy. Looking at the cooldown, the Annihilation Thunder had already cooled down. Without hesitation, Chu Chen walked straight into the blood-red vortex. Ding! Enter the second-level secret realm, Prison of the Shadow Dragon? System prompt. The second-level secret realm is slightly higher in difficulty. Please enter cautiously with a well-equipped team. Screw it, let's go in. A crimson light struck and covered Chu Chen directly. When his vision cleared, Chu Chen found himself in a dark place. It seemed like a cave, very dark and damp, making people uncomfortable. Looking around, he didn't see any shadows of monsters. Chu Chen walked slowly along the stone wall for his safety. Chu Chen allocated all 55 free attribute points to agility, directly increasing it to 445. This agility value was quite powerful in a level 20 secret realm. Feeling a bit relieved, Chu Chen continued forward. At that moment, a blood-red light shot out from the front of the cave. The red light was fast, and Chu Chen couldn't see clearly what it was. In a hurry, he quickly dodged to the side. What's going on? Chu Chen suddenly realized that his movement speed had decreased significantly. It shouldn't be. With his agility at 445, his movement speed should not be slow. Could it be that the strange red light just now was causing trouble? Chu Chen calmed down and observed carefully. Although the cave was dimly lit, he could still see that there were no monsters around. But, what was this? He saw a thin red thread passing through his body. Was this the red light from earlier? It had turned into a physical form and passed through his body. Swish! Swish! At that moment, more red light shot from all directions. Chu Chen tried to dodge. However, each time he was hit by a red light, a red thread would appear on his body. At the same time, his movement speed would become slower. It was this guy. Gritting his teeth, Chu Chen turned around abruptly. Suddenly, a huge and ugly hairy face appeared in front of him, hanging upside down. Oh my god! Chu Chen was startled without any mental preparation. Name, Crimson Blood Spider, Attribute, Poisonous Insect, Level, LV. 30, Health / Constitution, 317, Strength, 328, Intelligence, 315, Agility, 414, Spirit, 387, Combat Power, 3758, Skills, Crimson Spider Silk, Cocoon, Venom Invasion, Introduction, a poisonous insect that inhabits dark dungeons, strong poison, afraid of sunlight, likes to paralyze and cocoon prey, then swallow them alive. After reading the monster information, Chu Chen's scalp tingled. This guy likes to swallow prey alive? Get lost. He couldn't help but greet the big spider in front of him. Then, he instantly activated a skill. Azure Sea Tide. Swish. Swish. The water elements in the air began to gather towards Chu Chen like a whale sucking in water. Then, like a surging wave, one after another, spiraled outwards and spread around. As each water wave spread out, a string of numbers floated up. It seems that there are countless monsters hidden in this cave. Fortunately, the element of water can penetrate everywhere. No matter where the monsters are hiding, they will be swept away by the blue sea tide. After using the skill, the slowing effect on Chu Chen disappeared. He increased his speed and smoothly passed through the damp cave. This forbidden curse has already cleared out the monsters in the cave. Coming out of the cave, the light completely disappeared. Chu Chen arrived in a world made up of darkness. Roar, a distant and heavy roar came from above. The sound was like a deer's cry, like a whale song. It seemed to come from ancient times, since the secret realm is called Dragon's Shadow Prison. Then, there must be a Dragon Clan monster imprisoned here. Chu Chen muttered. Unfortunately, it was too dark here, he couldn't see anything at all. Chu Chen moved cautiously. At the same time, lightning flickered in his hand, ready to use the thunder of annihilation at any time. Clang! A harsh sound of iron chains shaking came from above. Chu Chen felt a strong pressure. He didn't dare to be careless and instantly jumped several meters away. Looking up, he saw a faint light shining down. By the light, Chu Chen clearly saw a black dragon hovering in the air and beginning to descend slowly. Foolish humans! How dare you disturb this god? You shall suffer the wrath of the gods. Destroy! With a roar, a violent wave of sound came. Chu Chen's eardrums felt like they were about to burst, so he quickly covered his ears. Enduring the pain, he checked the information of the giant dragon. Name, Shadow Dragon, Dominant Level Boss. Attribute, Divine Beast, Level, LV. 40, Health / Physique, 1247, Strength, 1381, Wisdom, 1273, Agility, 1189, Spirit, 1574, Combat Power, Skills, Dark Strike, Gate of Hell, Bloodthirsty Rage, Ultimate Scale Reversal, Introduction. As a descendant of the Dark Heavenly Dragon, the Shadow Dragon inherited the bloodline of the ancient evil god. Due to its arrogance, it offended the ancestor of the mountains and was sealed here for hundreds of years. Its magical power has been sealed by the remaining prison chains. A dominant level boss, descendant of the ancient evil god. Although both are at level 40, the dominance of the Shadow Dragon completely overwhelms the previous Deep Sea Dragon King. The Sea Dragon has no chance to even touch it. The more Chu Chen looked, the more excited he became. In midair, the Shadow Dragon's body was bound by countless iron chains. Obviously, this was its prison. The black scales, black dragon claws, black horns, all emitted an aura of evil and corruption. And yet, it dared to call itself a god? Are you sure you're not a fake god? Chu Chen smiled coldly. Element of thunder, heed my command, thunder of annihilation. Boom! In the sky, thunder roared. The thunder dragon struck down, shattering the rock wall and directly hitting the head of the Shadow Dragon. Thunder descended from the sky. Crack, boom. 7 segments of damage floated up, clearing the health bar of the Shadow Dragon. The lightning illuminated the space. The rock walls were full of ravaged marks, indicating an extremely fierce battle had taken place here. But that was all in the past. The Shadow Dragon was killed with one blow by Chu Chen, and the story behind those battle marks would eventually be erased. Then, completely forgotten, the grand entrance of the Shadow Dragon, but its death was absolutely decisive. Boom! The huge body fell to the ground. The Shadow Dragon widened its eyes, filled with unwillingness and shock. It couldn't understand how it, even with its power sealed, could be killed in an instant by a level 30 human? This is not logical. Roar! Taking its last breath, the Shadow Dragon let out a mournful cry like a thread of air. And then, it died. Chu Chen let out a sigh. To be honest, killing the Shadow Dragon was his most difficult challenge. Previously, using forbidden spells, he could almost instantly defeat the boss with the first round of damage. But this time, the Thunder of Annihilation struck the Shadow Dragon 7 times before finally killing it. This could only mean that his own strength was still not enough. I'm not strong enough yet, Chu Chen murmured. At this moment, countless loot items shimmering in various colors appeared on the Shadow Dragon's body. Chu Chen temporarily didn't think much, and picking up the loot was the most important thing. Ha! What's this? He suddenly noticed among the loot items a staff shining with a golden light, very eye-catching. A staff? Could it be a mage weapon? And it's golden. A divine artifact? Chu Chen controlled his heartbeat and walked towards it step by step. Then, he slowly picked it up. Ancient Divine Authority, Divine Artifact, Class Type, Mage, Level, LV. 35, Durability / Constitution plus 800, Strength plus 700, Wisdom plus 1000, Agility plus 600, Spirit plus 1100, Equipment Skill. Every time a skill is cast, there is a 1% chance to summon a wild boar monster to assist in battle. Introduction, Wielding Divine Authority, Commanding all living beings. I damn! Chu Chen shouted to the sky, tears streaming down his face. Finally, a mage equipment dropped. And it's a divine artifact. One step to the top. After the excitement, Chu Chen caressed this treasure, resembling an old father who had finally received his long-awaited child. Ha! Wait a minute. Suddenly, Chu Chen sensed something was off. Generally, if equipment has special effects, it would be marked as equipment effect, like Pharaoh's necklace. But this ancient divine authority seems to be marked as an equipment skill? Chu Chen wasn't too sure and looked at it repeatedly. Yes, it indeed said equipment skill. Skill? A skill. It's a skill. A smile slowly formed at the corner of Chu Chen's mouth. If it's a skill, then. Having cleared the second level of the secret realm, Chu Chen had already reached level 36. With a nervous heart, he equipped the ancient divine authority. Then, ding, detected that your equipment has a skill. Your passive magic spirit surge triggered. Equipment skill has changed. Please check. Ha, it works indeed. Chu Chen was extremely excited and checked the equipment again. Ancient Divine Authority, Divine Artifact, Class Type, Mage, Level, LV. 35, Durability / Constitution plus 800, Strength plus 700, Wisdom plus 1000, Agility plus 600, Spirit plus 1100, Equipment Skill. Every time a skill is cast, there is a 1% chance to summon a barbaric beast Dangkong to assist in battle. Introduction, Wielding Divine Authority, Commanding all living beings. Dangkong? Chu Chen was slightly surprised. Before crossing to the Blue Star, he lived in a place where there was a strange book called Classic of Mountains and Seas. In that book, there was a record of a strange beast called Dankong. This is too overbearing, directly summoning a divine beast. If a summoner sees this, they would probably have to kneel down, right? Chu Chen looked at the ancient divine authority staff in his hand. It was made of 5 hollow metal rods, representing the 5 elements. At the top of the staff was a purple spirit pearl emitting light outward. Its entire design exuded a domineering aura. After admiring it for a moment, he put it away and left the secret realm. Once again returning home with a full load, Chu Chen went straight home. Lying in bed at night, he began to organize his thoughts. In a few days, it would be the graduation trial, and he must join a large guild by then. That way, it would be easier to investigate his sister's situation. In addition, there are 2 more things to do. One is to do the 3rd task at the Touring Ruins. The other is to find suitable cooling equipment to make the source of all laws work. Okay, let's take it step by step. Tomorrow, let's go to the Touring Ruins first and complete the 3rd task. Early the next day, Chu Chen, who had decided to discipline himself, got up after the alarm clock rang 5 times. Hurriedly washing up and having breakfast, he first went to the trading post. Oh, look who's here. My dear little Chu Chen, I missed you so much. Just as he stepped in, Wei Suanan greeted him with a smile on his face. Yesterday, Qini, at Chu Chen's request, brought a batch of top-quality equipment to the trading post. Wei Suanan was ecstatic when he saw it, almost jumping for joy on the spot. Knowing that these things belonged to Chu Chen, he was even more delighted. He really hit the jackpot. Seeing Wei Suanan approaching, Chu Chen kicked him away. Can you be normal? I'm scared. Ahem. Wei Suanan patted the footprints on his body and made a very gentlemanly gesture to Chu Chen. Please, Chu Chen was speechless for a moment. Walking into the trading post, Chu Chen saw that many people were being served by beautiful girls. And on his side, no one was paying attention. A girl in black stockings and a bald creepy man. The difference between them was quite significant. After entering the office, Chu Chen awkwardly made a suggestion. Let's discuss something. Next time, can I have someone else serve me? I don't mean anything else, it's just a preference. With that, he pointed to a girl in black stockings in the hall. Wei Suanan stretched his neck to take a look. Tisk, just her, I can wear that too, as long as you like it. No. Chu Chen hurriedly stopped him. I mean, at least it should be a woman. Wei Suanan looked embarrassed, then gritted his teeth. Fine. I can do surgery too. No. Chu Chen said firmly, I think you're fine. No need to change. Wei Suanan felt honored. As long as you like it, Chu Chen. Okay, let's get to the point. Did any of my equipment sell? Hearing this, Wei Suanan clapped his hands. Of course. The ones Miss Qin brought for you yesterday are still up for auction. But, the spiritual enchantment you personally gave me a few days ago has been sold. Chu Chen looked expectant. How much did it sell for? Wei Suanan raised an eyebrow. Guess. Chu Chen? I'm just a kid. Why guess? Ahem. Wei Suanan took a sip of water to ease the awkwardness, then continued. Spiritual Enchantment, a priest skill book, sold for 210,000 gold coins. What? Chu Chen was quite surprised. So much? It seems that not only mages, but other professions are also quite profitable. Later, Wei Suanan deducted a 5% commission and handed 1,995,000 gold coins to Chu Chen. I'm rich. Chu Chen was excited for a moment. But then he remembered the price of the mage skill book and felt a bit disheartened. The revolution has not succeeded, comrades still need to work hard. He realized that he still had too few skills. Too few. Okay, let's continue auctioning the rest. I have some new goods here, you take them. After that, Chu Chen traded with the creepy man and gave him all the things he got from the Shadow Dragon explosion. This time, Wei Suanan was truly dumbfounded. He had just delivered a bunch of level 25 to 30 equipment yesterday, and today, there were a dozen more. There was even a level 35 golden equipment. Black scale armor, golden, class type, warrior, knight level, LV. 35 durability, 5,000/5,000 constitution plus 93 agility plus 67 equipment effect. For every 100 points of constitution, there is a 10% increase in constitution. Introduction, not enough. Looking through them one by one. Yesterday and today, Chu Chen gave him a total of 46 pieces of silver equipment and 29 pieces of gold equipment. All of them are levels 20 to 35. You should know, the new graduates just changed jobs a few days ago, and they are about to enter the peak period of the second job change. Equipment from level 20 to 30 is the most popular. Respected Mr. Chu, what kind of monster are you? Wei Suanan cried bitterly, thinking to himself that if he were 20 years younger, he would worship Chu Chen as his big brother and travel the world with him. Isn't that a bit much? Seeing his expression, Shu Chen was speechless again. If I were to give you the ancient divine authority, wouldn't you kneel down on the spot? Alright, you just look at the prices of these equipment. I will come to collect the money later. Hearing this, Wei Suanan was once again moved. Mr. Shu, you trust me so much. I really have no way to repay you. I can only offer myself. Stop. Shu Chen interrupted in time. To change the subject, he quickly asked, by the way, do you have any cooling reduction equipment for mages in your exchange? Of course. When it came to professional matters, Wei Suanan was a bit more normal. How much do you want to reduce the cooldown? I can help you put together a set. Don't worry about it. The more the better, Shu Chen said. The more the better? Wei Suanan shook his head. Mr. Shu, you may not understand the rules. The maximum cooldown reduction for professionals can stack up to 55%. Exceeding this value is meaningless. Shu Chen smiled inwardly. I don't understand the rules? No, it's you who don't understand me. Too lazy to explain too much, Shu Chen said. Stop talking nonsense, just follow my recommendation. Okay. Wei Suanan didn't say much. He began to search in his mind. After a moment, he opened his eyes and said to Shu Chen, there is a set, the cooldown reduction together is 100%. 100%? Shu Chen was immediately interested. What set? Tell me more. After thinking for a moment, Wei Suanan said, Wind God Plain. It's a dungeon not far from Jiangling City, with monsters around level 40 to 45. The boss there, Wind God, drops a Wind God set, which reduces cooldown. If I remember correctly, each additional set effect increases cooldown reduction by 20%. Shu Chen's eyes lit up. If Wei Suanan's information is accurate, then he only needs to get 5 pieces of the Wind God set to reduce the cooldown to 100%. By then, he can unleash forbidden spells indefinitely. Hee. Shu Chen smiled proudly. He seemed to see a new era about to come. Thanks, old Wei. If it works out, you will be the hero who opens a new era. Leaving behind a confused Wei Suanan, Shu Chen rushed out of the exchange. There's no rush to brush the Wind God Plain. The most important thing now is to complete the 3rd job change mission. Otherwise, if it's delayed, the time limit will be exceeded. He glanced at the mission panel. 3rd job change mission, Save the Turing Dynasty, 5-star difficulty, Introduction. The Turing Dynasty was a powerful nomadic tribe that was destroyed by a natural disaster, submerged by a great flood, and reappeared 300 years later. Please enter the Turing ruins, find the deceased Turing king, and bring back the Turing crown to complete the job change mission. Time limit, 33 hours and 52 minutes. Exceeding the time limit will result in mission failure. Do the 3rd job change first, then brush the Wind God Plain. Next, it's time to level up mindlessly, preparing for the graduation trial. With a plan for the upcoming events, Shu Chen was full of motivation and ran towards the direction of the Turing ruins. To the east of Jiangling City, there is a magnificent and extravagant manor. The manor faces the sea, with extremely luxurious interior decorations that are enviable. This is the headquarters of the Azure Dragon Guild. At this moment, in the council hall, a bunch of useless people. The angry man smashed everything in his hand to the ground, his face contorted in a furious roar. The middle-level cadres of the Azure Dragon Guild were all silent, none daring to speak. The guild leader, Zhang Hetian, was in a state of extreme anger at the moment, and they did not dare to easily provoke him. Last night, the guild leader's son, Zhang Feng, took a group of guild members around level 60 and went out. Up to now, this group of people has not returned. Moreover, no matter how they tried to contact them, there was no response. Zhang Hetian felt that something was wrong, so he sent people out to look for them. However, after half a day, they found no clues. The only thing that could be confirmed was that Zhang Feng and the others had been active in the Misty Swamp area. Find them. Find them quickly. If I can't find my son, I will destroy all of you. The level 307th transformation Fireburst Warlock, when angered, was truly suffocating. But the angrier Zhang Hetian became, the more his inner fear was revealed. You see, with the power of the Azure Dragon Guild, it wouldn't be difficult to find even a fly in Jiangling City. But now, his own son had been missing for half a day without a trace. There was only one possibility, a terrifying possibility that Zhang Hetian dared not even think about. Lao Jiang, what has made you so angry? I could hear your voice from far away. Suddenly, a deep male voice came in, accompanied by footsteps. Who? Zhang Hetian raised his head abruptly. After seeing the person clearly, his eyes narrowed slightly, a cold light flashing through them. Who would have thought it was you? Turns out it's the guild leader of the Vermilion Bird Guild. Guild leader this, guild leader that, just call me by my name. The guild leader of the Vermilion Bird Guild, Tu Lian, walked in and sat down without any hesitation. He casually looked around and noticed the tense atmosphere, then smiled. "What's wrong, Lao Jiang? Has something happened?" Zhang Hetian looked coldly at Tu Lian, wondering why he had come to the Azure Dragon Guild at this time. Could it be that his son's disappearance was related to this old fox? But why would he do that? Suddenly, a possibility crossed Zhang Hetian's mind, causing his pupils to slightly dilate. Could it be that my plan to merge the other 3 major guilds has been exposed? No, that's impossible. I only mentioned it to my son. But if it hasn't been exposed, what is the purpose of this old man Tu Lian coming today? With a hidden agenda, Zhang Hetian asked tentatively, "Guild Leader 2, may I ask what brings you to our humble abode?" "Look at you, always so formal in your speech." Tu Lian maintained a smiling demeanor. "Well, you see, our Tu family has recently had double happiness, so we wanted to invite guests from all over, and today I came specifically to deliver an invitation to Brother Jiang." With that, he took out a red invitation and placed it on the table. Zhang Hetian didn't even look at it and continued to ask, "May I ask what the happy occasion is?" At this question, Tu Lian instantly became proud. "The first happy event is nothing special, it's just that my son is about to turn 18. Young people these days always want to make a big deal out of their coming-of-age ceremony. So as a father, I can only swallow my pride and invite guests from all over. Who made me have only one son, just like you, Brother Jiang, you should be able to understand, right? Ha ha ha." Mentioning his son, Zhang Hetian's face instantly turned red, his expression as stiff as a pig's liver. However, he was also a master of self-restraint, managing not to explode. "And what about the second happy event?" Tu Lian became even more pleased. "The second event is a big one. Brother Jiang, do you know that the Spirit Cultivation Church has a quota in our Jiangling city this year?" Zhang Hetian nodded. The Spirit Cultivation Church is the largest guild in the Dragon Kingdom, on par with the Royal Knights. 3 years ago, the Royal Knights recruited a Chushi in Jiangling City and never returned. This year, although there is still no quota for the Royal Knights, the Lingxi Church has arrived, which is also a major event for Jiangling City. I don't know how many people are eyeing that one spot. The principals of various colleges are racking their brains to get their students into the Lingxi Church. Even if it means sacrificing everything, they are willing to do it. This is a great opportunity to bring fame to the college. If successful, it will be recorded in the college's history and become famous for eternity. However, Elder Xin Xingchen of the Lingxi Church has not appeared yet. He is like a dragon showing its head but not its tail. No one knows what kind of person the Lingxi Church is looking to recruit this time. As the president, Zhang Hetian naturally understands this information, but he didn't understand why Tu Lian came to tell him this. Seeing his puzzled look, Tu Lian couldn't contain his laughter any longer. After laughing enough, he stood up, raised his head, and said, "Brother Jiang, you are unaware. This spot in the Lingxi Church already belongs to my Tu family. My son, Tu Tson, will be the first newcomer from Jiangling City to enter the Lingxi Church." To be honest, this news was somewhat shocking to Zhang Hetian. If what Tu Lian said was true, then their plan to absorb the other 3 major guilds would have to be announced as a failure. They all knew that there was an old guy in the Tu family who was a member of the Royal Knights. If they were to enter the Lingxi Church as well, then in the future in Jiangling City, the Tu family of the Vermilion Bird Guild would be the absolute authority. Although Zhang Hetian did not want to see this happen, he had no time to consider it now. Picking up the invitation on the table, Zhang Hetian smirked. "Congratulations, President Tu. I will definitely come to congratulate you." "Good, I'll be waiting for you. Goodbye." After exchanging a few insincere pleasantries, Tu Lian left the Azure Dragon Guild. Watching Tu Lian leave, Zhang Hetian's expression instantly turned dark, lost in his thoughts. That's right, this is the Turing Ruins. Following the mission prompt, Chuchen quickly found the entrance to the secret realm. Turing Ruins, designated map for the 3rd-tier mission in Jiangling City, difficulty, 5 stars, level restriction, LV. 30, ha ha ha. Chuchen leaned against a tree, panting heavily. Just now, in order to hurry, he ran for his life, dodging the monsters on the road, exhausting himself in the process. "No, I need to learn a flying skill soon. I'm at least a forbidden spell mage, with high-level skills that should allow me to fly. To come to explore a secret realm and still have to run here, it's not fitting for my status." Taking a quick break to recover his strength, Chuchen took out a precious item from his backpack. The sacred artifact staff, Ancient Divine Authority. Ha, finally got some equipment. No more running around naked. To commemorate this great and heroic moment, Chuchen struck a very exaggerated pose and equipped the staff. After that, his attributes underwent a tremendous change. Chuchen, occupation, Starlight Mage, second transformation, level, LV. 36, Constitution, 984, Strength, 820, Intelligence, 1331, Agility, 900, Spirit, 1477, Combat Power Value, Skills, Spirit Flow, Purgatory Catastrophe, Annihilation Thunder, Source of All Laws, Azure Sea Tide, oh my god. His combat power directly increased to over 40,000. Having equipment is really good. Children without equipment are like grass. Chu Chen was so moved he cried. Although he had the Taros necklace before, it was just a necklace that would be covered by outer clothing. A divine artifact being blocked by ordinary clothes. The feeling was like wearing underwear over long johns. Uncomfortable to death. Now, he no longer had to endure such humiliation. He wiped his nose to the side and reached out to touch the entrance to the secret realm. Ding! System prompt, Turing ruins belong to the designated map of the third transformation. Only one person can enter. Do you want to enter? Yes. The black mist rolled in, the familiar transition. After a brief disappearance of sight, what appeared in front of Chu Chen was an underwater scene. He entered the underwater world. Ding! System prompt, you are in a submerged state, breathing is obstructed, receiving 300 damage per second. -300, -300, -300. A series of white numbers floated above his head. Wow, losing 300 health per second. Chu Chen quickly took medicine. Fortunately, he had the habit of hoarding medicine, so he never sold it when he went to the exchange. Maintaining good health, Chu Chen swam forward. Due to attribute bonuses, even though Chu Chen was a duck on land before, he could now rival a world swimming champion. He moved smoothly underwater, advancing quickly. According to the information he had read, Turing Kingdom disappeared due to being submerged by water. So Chu Chen swam directly to the bottom of the water. The Turing Palace must be down there. As long as he found the crown of the Turing King there and brought it back, the mission would be completed. The light underwater was limited. The further he swam down, the darker it became. I don't even know where that ghostly palace is. There isn't even a mission prompt. Chu Chen complained in his mind, looking around. Hiss, hiss. At this moment, a series of strange cries came from all directions. Chu Chen was startled and quickly stopped, floating in place. Upon closer inspection, he found that he was surrounded by a group of ugly-looking monster fish. Name, Deep Sea Monster Fish. Attribute, Fierce Beast. Level, LV. 35, Health / Constitution, 397, Strength, 384, Intelligence, 379, Agility, 515, Spirit, 418, Combat Power, 2049, Skills, Deep Sea Dash, Poisonous Bite, Sudden Appearance to startle you. Introduction, the deep sea is very dark, no one can see anyone, so let's just grow randomly. The monster fish group blew bubbles, surrounding Chu Chen in the middle, observing him aggressively. Chu Chen looked at the bulging eyeballs, teeth sticking out, and somewhat deformed monster fish, feeling a chill down his spine. No wonder it's so dark underwater. If you saw each other's faces every day, you'd go crazy. Being so ugly and coming out to scare people, seeking death. Annihilation Thunder. Click, boom. The thunder dragon entered the water, and the electric current spread out underwater like the roots of a towering tree. The scene was like a lightning fireworks show, dazzling and beautiful. However, it was beautiful for Chu Chen. For those underwater monsters, it was a disaster. Damage values in the 7 digits floated throughout the underwater area. With the ancient divine power, the damage from the Annihilation Thunder reached millions in one go. Terrifying. You have killed the deep sea monster fish and gained 200 experience points. You have killed the deep sea monster fish and gained 200 experience points. You have killed the sleeping old snapping turtle and gained 400 experience points. You have killed the iron shell turtle egg and gained 400 experience points. Chu Chen looked satisfied at his handiwork and shook his head again. I wonder when the skill of ancient divine power will trigger. A 1% chance, isn't that too low? When upgrading it to a forbidden curse, why didn't they adjust the probability to 100%? Is there a bug? Give a patch, will you? After feeling disappointed for a while, Chu Chen regained his spirits and picked up the loot from the monsters he had defeated. Forget about what skills can or cannot do. I learned forbidden curses for only 3 things. Make money, still, make money. How to make money? Of course, by collecting loot from battles. After collecting the items, Chu Chen habitually wiped the sweat off his brow. Although there was no sweat underwater, the strange sense of ritual still needed to be present. And at that moment, Chu Chen suddenly discovered that below him, a golden palace was slowly emerging. A massive palace made of gold broke through the ground underwater. The palace was grand and magnificent, exuding a mysterious aura. The buried Turing Palace appeared in front of Chu Chen like this. Boom, the palace continued to rise until it stood completely above the riverbed. At the same time, Chu Chen was amazed to find himself getting closer to the water's surface. No, the water level is dropping. Sure enough, when the palace appeared, the water here quickly receded like an ebb tide and then disappeared. And Chu Chen slowly landed inside the palace. Soldiers were patrolling the square and corridors of the palace. Chu Chen looked around. Name, Turing soldier, race, human, level, LV. 45, health / constitution, 432, strength, 526, wisdom, 597, agility, 475, spirit, 367, combat power, 3487, skills, charge, war roar, crescent /. What should I do next? Chu Chen stood in the center of the palace square, feeling a bit lost. He originally thought that the process of this mission was to kill the monsters and then sneak into the underwater palace to find the crown. But he didn't expect it to turn out like this. Forget it, let's kill first and then figure it out. The violent fire elements gathered, and flames flickered in Chu Chen's right hand. Just as he was about to strike with hell catastrophe, footsteps suddenly came from a distance. Warrior! A group of soldiers and officials hurriedly approached, surrounding an elderly man in his 60s or 70s. Running up to Chu Chen, the old man grabbed Chu Chen's hand gratefully. Warrior, you are the savior of our entire Turing clan. The people behind him echoed, yes, our savior. Seeing this situation, Chu Chen couldn't help but feel a bit embarrassed. What's going on? Why is there a plot twist now? He raised his hands to speak, but suddenly noticed a golden crown on the old man's head. Are you the Turing king? The old man clasped his hands together. I am indeed the king of the Turing clan. Warrior, you defeated the water monsters and saved our entire Turing clan. What reward do you want? I will fulfill the warrior's request. What? Is this really happening? Chu Chen's eyes lit up. I want 1 billion gold coins, a harem of concubines. No. Quickly shaking his head, he pointed to the crown on the Turing King's head. I have no other requests, just give me that hat. Before the Turing King could say anything, the officials behind him exploded in anger. How dare you? This kid wants to seize power. Where is the Turing army? Capture him. Attack. The soldiers received the order and immediately surrounded Chu Chen. Is this acting so real? Helpless, Chu Chen prepared to unleash his skills again. At this moment, the Turing King roared, back off, all of you. This warrior saved us, the Turing clan repays kindness. How can we treat our benefactor like this? After speaking, he turned to Chu Chen, warrior, I truly cannot give you this crown. How about this? I will betroth my most beautiful daughter to you. How about that? Chu Chen suddenly became interested. Oh, fellow villager, you have a daughter, let me take a look. The Turing King beckoned, and a fair-skinned, bright-eyed girl ran over. This is my little princess, named Atisha. She is 14 years old, of marriageable age, and I will betroth her to you now. What's going on? 14 years old? Get lost. Chu Chen roared. I am a law-abiding citizen. Don't think you can defeat me with evil desires. My Dao heart is firm. I will never bow to such vulgar temptations. Hearing Chu Chen's roar, although King Turing did not understand the meaning, he knew that Chu Chen had rejected him. Humph, you are going too far. Do you think my daughter is not worthy of you? You are insulting my Turing clan. Soldiers, kill him for me. Chu Chen's face was full of black lines as he looked at King Turing. King Turing, legendary boss? Damn, so you are the boss of this secret realm. And his level is not low, at least 10 levels higher than Chu Chen, unable to see his detailed information. Everyone here, although they look human, are actually just monsters in the secret realm. Why waste time talking to a group of monsters? Inferno catastrophe. Boom! Flames exploded, instantly engulfing the entire palace. You have killed King Turing, gaining 7,000 experience points. You have killed Turing soldiers, gaining 200 experience points each. You have killed Turing princess, gaining 2,000 experience points. It's a pity for the little girl. Chu Chen sighed. Suddenly, he saw a skill book shimmering with red light floating where King Turing had stood. Red? Another mage skill book? No, this can't be. It's all fake. Chu Chen closed his eyes, trying to calm his excited heart, and told himself that the drop rate for mage skill books is less than 1 in 100,000. How could he be so lucky to consecutively drop so many? It must be that he was obsessed with skill books and hallucinating. Yes, that must be it. Chu Chen took a deep breath, then slowly opened his eyes and looked again. Holy crap, it's a mage skill book. I hit the jackpot. Ha ha ha. Rushing over, Chu Chen quickly picked up the skill book. Do you want to learn rockfall technique? Yes. Chu Chen didn't hesitate. Ding. Congratulations on learning the skill, rockfall technique. Rockfall technique? Judging by the name, it should be a second-tier Earth Elemental skill. Passive skill Magic Spirit Surge triggered, skill Rockfall technique replaced with Path of the Divine End. Path of the Divine End. Majestic, I love it. Chu Chen was ecstatic, quickly checking his skill bar. Skill, Path of the Divine End, active, Earth Elemental Curse. Summon a giant meteor to fall from the sky, dealing damage to enemies. Every time this skill is used, there is a 99% chance of casting it again for free. 99% chance of casting it again? In other words, this skill can double, then quadruple. Infinite combos. This, a meteor shower? Chu Chen imagined the doomsday-like scene, eager to try the skill now. Wait. Suddenly, he frowned, realizing things were not simple. After a moment of hesitation, a lascivious smile appeared on Chu Chen's face. Then, he raised the ancient divine scepter in his hand. The skill of this staff is that there is a 1% chance of summoning a divine beast each time a skill is cast. And the Path of the Divine End, each falling meteor counts as an independent skill. In other words, these two things can work together perfectly. Qinglong Guild Headquarters. In the center of the manor, there is a floating loft. The loft has no windows and is completely sealed. At this moment, inside the aerial loft, Zhang Heten and a man in black robes stand on opposite sides of a square table. Night Ghost, quickly divine the location of my son. The man known as Night Ghost is a 5 transformation diviner of the Qinglong Guild, a stargazer. Night Ghost muttered to himself. On the square table, there were several transparent glass balls. Under the chanting of the Night Ghost, they began to float and shimmer with an eerie light. Soon, they dimmed and fell back onto the table. What's going on? Zhang Heten didn't understand divination, but he could tell that the situation was unusual. The Night Ghost shook his head, panting heavily, and took a big gulp of blue potion. Divination was a very energy-consuming skill that required a lot of blue potion to support. Unable to determine the location, guild leader, young Master Feng may have already. Seeing the guild leader's grim expression, he didn't dare to continue. Zhang Hetian's eyes widened in anger, veins popping on his forehead. Then you tell me, who did Feng encounter in the misty swamp last night, and what happened? Alright, I'll try. Shine upon the world, bright stars, eternal and shining. Our hearts are connected. Illuminate in the darkness, my lost soul. The Night Ghost crossed his hands in front of his chest, murmuring softly. The glass balls on the table once again reacted, emitting a scorching light. The light converged into a light curtain. Zhang Heten widened his eyes, looking at the scene within the light curtain. He saw a dense group of people standing on it, but the image was extremely blurry, and he couldn't make out their faces. How can this be? Zhang Heten asked. Sweat drips from the Night Ghost's head. I can only do so much. Perhaps someone is wearing equipment that blocks detection. But it's okay, this is enough. I can check their personal information. The one standing in the middle on the left, that's young Master Zhang Feng. He is currently in a secret realm, seemingly in a confrontation with someone. Boom! As soon as the Night Ghost finished speaking, a flash of red light passed through the image. Then, the black figure representing Zhang Feng disappeared from the screen. Along with him, a large circle of people around him also disappeared. Zhang Hetian's pupils dilated instantly, blood vessels appearing in his eyes. Even he could see that his son had been killed like this. Find out who released the skill. The Night Ghost gritted his teeth, crazily consuming blue potion. Then, he looked at the figure releasing the fire-based skill. The result. What the hell? The Night Ghost's expression changed drastically. Oh no. Zhang Hetian grabbed the Night Ghost's collar. What did you see? Speak up. The Night Ghost was completely bewildered. I saw what the hell? What did you say? Zhang Hetian's expression turned even uglier. The Night Ghost explained nervously, Guild leader, forgive my incompetence, I couldn't see any information about this person. You couldn't see? Zhang Hetian was also surprised. You're a level 175th tier professional. Could his level be above 180? This statement reminded the Night Ghost. He quickly rewound the image to the moment the skill was released. Upon closer inspection, he was even more shocked. Guild leader, look at this skill. Its range is so vast, it almost covers the entire secret realm map. And among the people present, there are knights from our guild who are over level 60. They were also killed in one move. After the Night Ghost explained, Zhang Hetian's face also turned pale. Killing a group of knights around level 60, even he, a 7th tier fire burst warlock, might not be able to do it. After all, knights were known for their high defense and health as a tank class. And that person, with just one skill, managed to kill them all? Zhang Hetian watched repeatedly, sweat forming on his forehead. This skill is at least 8th tier, and possibly even 9th tier. He dared not speculate further. After all, beyond the 9th tier were forbidden spells. In the entire Blue Star, let alone using forbidden spells, there were few who had even seen them. My son, who have you offended? Who is this powerful figure? Why did he come to Jiangling City to kill my son? Zhang Hetian's anger surged in his chest, almost spitting out blood. Night Ghost's eyes flickered, recalling something, and quickly said, President, in our Jiangling City, there is absolutely no such person. This person is definitely an outsider. Have you heard that the Lingjiao Church came to Jiangling City this time to recruit people, and there is a mage? Hearing this, Zhang Hetian suddenly straightened his body. Are you saying, this person is Shen Xingqian? No, Elder Shen? Xingqian, the 9 Revolutions heavenly demon law. With his own strength, he single-handedly killed 3 ancient evil gods that invaded the Dragon Kingdom. Known as the man of the protecting the country divine law. Just with a name, it made the arrogant Zhang Hetian stiff and stutter in fear. He almost forgot about his son's death. Zhang Hetian was now in a state of shock. Yes, that's right, it's definitely him. It can't be anyone else. He completely gave up and understood that the matter of Jiang Feng being killed could never be mentioned again. Even when he cried at his son's grave, he had to find a place where no one was around to cry. That's Xingqian, the protecting the country divine law. He would never kill innocent people indiscriminately. Since Jiang Feng died at his hands, it must be for committing some heinous crime. Yes, it must be like this. Jiang Feng, my son, your death was deserved. Zhang Hetian mourned in his heart. President, there is another piece of information that I think should be reported. Night Ghost suddenly spoke up. Zhang Hetian lowered his head, weakly said, Speak. Night Ghost pointed to another figure on the light screen. This person, I have checked her information. She is the daughter of Qin Taihan from the White Tiger Guild. Qini. He. After hearing Night Ghost's words, Zhang Hetian chuckled bitterly. Today, Zhuke Guild's Tulin said that the Lingjiao Church had already reserved a spot for his son. Now he saw that Xingqian, with Qini from the White Tiger Guild, had killed his son, so they had already climbed up the high branches. Only our Qinglong Guild is a joke. Ha. Zhang Hetian suddenly remembered his ambition to merge the 3 major guilds. Now it seemed like a pure clownish dream. Night Ghost, do not spread today's events. After saying that, Zhang Hetian walked out of the tower in the air, leaving behind a desolate figure. On the other side, the transfer temple. It was not yet the peak period of the second transfer, and it was still very quiet here. Chu Chen walked into the hall and was surprised to see that the chubby receptionist Du Kai was not asleep. At that moment, Du Kai also noticed Chu Chen. He excitedly ran out from behind the counter, about to speak to Chu Chen, but suddenly his face changed, covering his mouth. Chu Chen looked at Du Kai puzzled. What's wrong with you? Du Kai shook his head while covering his mouth. Chu Chen suddenly remembered that he had said last time that when he came back, Du Kai would become mute. Well, it seemed like he was a good kid who kept his promise. Chu Chen smiled slightly. Fortunately, he was familiar with this place, so he walked towards the sanctuary on his own. Walking up the twin moonstone platform, Chu Chen handed over the touring crown. Congratulations on completing the 3rd transfer mission. Everything was simple and smooth. After coming down, Chu Chen checked his attribute panel. Chu Chen, Occupation, Elemental Apostle, 3rd transfer, Level, LV. 38, Constitution, 1871, Strength, 1579, Intelligence, 2431, Agility, 1773, Spirit, 2497, Combat Power Value, Skills, Magic Spirit Surge, Purgatory Catastrophe, Annihilation Thunder, Source of All Laws, Azure Sea Tide, Path to God's End, Magic Power Surge. Used to the explosive growth of attributes, Chu Chen was already feeling a bit bored. He is only interested in newly acquired skills. Magic Surge, Passive. Your skill damage increases by 10%, the passive skill Magic Spirit Surge triggers, and the skill Magic Surge is replaced by Transcendental Insight. Transcendental Insight, Passive. You can freely control the extent of spell release, up to 200%. Control the extent of release? Chu Chen was stunned. Does this mean that I can experience the joy of grinding and monster hunting like an ordinary person in the future? I finally don't have to feel inferior for only knowing curse spells. Chu Chen laughed happily, then pointed towards the wall. Silent Thunder, 0. 1%. ZZZT. A small lightning bolt shot out from his fingertip, directly hitting the wall. Crack. A wisp of black smoke emerged from the wall, and then nothing happened, not even a crack appeared. If it were the full-powered Silent Thunder, it could have overturned the entire class transfer temple. Chu Chen's control over elemental power had reached the level of a grandmaster. After a few more tries, he had mastered it proficiently. Then, he said to the light screen, inquire about the requirements for the 4th transfer mission. Soon, golden light formed into words. This is a beginner class transfer temple. To obtain the 4th transfer mission, please go to the advanced class transfer temple. Ah, the helplessness of a small city. Shu Chen had only learned about the 3rd transfer of professionals in the academy, which was a watershed. Starting from the 4th transfer, the difficulty would increase to a crazy level. But he had no idea how to proceed with the 4th transfer now. He only knew that after the 3rd transfer, he needed to reach level 60 to transfer to the 4th. Then, level 70 for the 5th transfer, and so on, up to the 9th transfer. Beyond the 9th transfer, one would enter a mysterious and unknown realm that no one had reached before. However, all of that was still far off. Sighing, Shu Chen descended from the twin moonstone platform and returned to the hall. Du Kai saw Shu Chen and couldn't help but shine with excitement in his eyes, but due to their previous agreement, he held back from speaking. It was clear that he was struggling to hold back, his little face turning red. Shu Chen found it amusing, but didn't delay and left directly, heading to the trading post. Lao Wei, how are my equipment sales going? As soon as he entered, Shu Chen cut to the chase. He didn't expect his receptionist to change into a lady in black stockings, so he went straight to Wei Suanan. Wei Suanan greeted him with a smile. Oh, Mr. Shu, you finally came. I've been waiting for you. Alright, Shu Chen said disdainfully, as long as you didn't forget to wear your long johns. Hee. Wei Suanan continued to smile. I know you're busy, so I won't waste time. As he spoke, he requested a trade with Shu Chen. Most of the equipment you consigned for auction has been sold, totaling 28 million gold coins. After deducting a 5% commission, I should give you 6 million gold coins, please check. Damn! Shu Chen was shocked. This was undoubtedly a huge sum for his past self. After the transaction, over 26 million gold coins entered his account, and Shu Chen could hardly believe his eyes. After a while, he recovered. Indeed, with power, money was just a string of numbers. Just a toy. Mr. Shu, this is only a part of it. You currently have 13 pieces of silver equipment and 7 pieces of gold equipment for sale. If all goes well, these 20 pieces of equipment can still sell for around 10 million. It wouldn't be long before the annual peak of the 2nd transfer arrived. At that time, the demand for level 20 to 30 equipment would exceed supply. So many people were preparing in advance, causing prices to soar. Alright, thank you for your hard work. Shu Chen bid farewell and walked towards the exit of the trading post. The trading post was always crowded. He squeezed out of the crowd and finally made it out the door with some difficulty. Ugh, you're so annoying, can you just leave? Just as he stepped outside, Shu Chen heard a familiar voice. Following the voice, he saw Qini in a white dress walking towards him, accompanied by a young man with red hair. This young man had a smirk on his face, following Qini like a stray dog, completely ignoring her impatience. Toot Song, are you crazy? Didn't I tell you not to follow me? Qini couldn't take it anymore. She wanted to hit him if they weren't in public. The young man beside her was Toot Song, the son of the president of the Vermilion Bird Guild, who had awakened the hidden profession of Wind Warrior. He was also ranked as the most promising graduate of this year in Jiangling City by a certain media outlet. After being scolded by Qini, Toot Song remained unbothered, still smiling. I'm just worried about you. There are so many people here. What if someone has ill intentions towards you? I have to protect you. Qini frowned in disgust. Who needs your protection? Can you stay away from me? Stop being so annoying like a stray dog. Dog? Did you just call me a dog? Toot Song was first surprised, then he leaned in closer. I am a dog. I am your little wolf dog. Woof woof woof. Seeing his annoying behavior, Qini clenched her fists. Toot Song, can you be any more disgusting? Not far away, Shu Chen saw this scene but decided not to greet Qini and turned to leave. His movement caught Qini's attention. Shu Chen, she called out from behind. Shu Chen turned around. What's up? Qini pushed Toot Song away and ran to Shu Chen. Are you here to sell equipment? Do you have any assassin gear? I want to change my equipment recently. She didn't know why, but talking to Shu Chen made her feel inexplicably nervous. Hearing this, Shu Chen shrugged. I gave everything to Lao Wei, go ask him. With that, he walked away. Qini quickly stopped him. Hey, don't leave yet. I have to level up early tomorrow. Can you come with me? She was surprised by her own words. As the daughter of the president of the White Tiger Guild and a goddess-level beauty at Maple Leaf Academy, when had she ever spoken so humbly to a guy? But after asking, she couldn't help but look nervously at Shu Chen, waiting for his answer. Before Shu Chen could respond, Toot Song came running over. He stood next to Qini, looking hostilely at Shu Chen. Who is this guy? Did he offend you? Do you want me to teach him a lesson for you? Xini, flushed with anger, glared and shouted, "Get lost! Chu Chen is my friend, if you dare touch him, I'll kill you." Friend? Tu Song completely ignored the second part of
Hello,
Xini's
dear.
statement and looked disdainfully at Chu Chen. At this point, Chu Chen had put away the ancient divine power. Otherwise, if he flaunted the sacred artifact, it would have caused a huge commotion wherever he went. Seeing that Chu Chen didn't even have any equipment on him, Tu Song sneered. Are you kidding me? Look at this guy, so poor he doesn't even have any equipment, and he thinks he can be friends with us? Bang! Xini kicked him again upon hearing this. Quickly, she explained to Chu Chen, "Chu Chen, don't listen to his nonsense, he's crazy. I truly consider you as a friend." Chu Chen smiled, not taking those words to heart. "It's okay, I automatically filter out the barking of dogs, but unfortunately, I have other things to do now, so I can't go level up with you. Goodbye." Watching Chu Chen walk away, Xini felt a pang of bitterness in her heart. Soon, that bitterness turned into sorrow and indignation. She walked over to the body of Tu Son lying on the ground and kicked him a few more times.